Hey everyone, this is this week's Weekend Extra. I'm Joe. This is Ryan. Excited to jump in after another great week of what to do when you don't know what to do. And really, in a lot of ways, Ryan, this week I think kind of hit that almost exactly. Like, what do you do with your decisions and all this kind of stuff? And but as I was talking with some people after service, just kind of getting their feedback and everything on the message, and one theme came up a couple of times, and it's this: what do you do when you've already kind of walked off the path a ton? You've already made a ton of bad decisions. You've already said yes to the wrong things a bunch of time. You're just, maybe your life's even out of control, but now you're hearing this message or this type of message. You're feeling God call you back. How do you navigate that scenario?
Yeah, that's a great question, Joe. I think the beauty of following Christ is, one of the beauties, is that you're always like one step back. You know, you're always one step back to the path.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's just a matter of re-entering the race. And the hard part is that step, I think, while it's simple, it can be hard. It can be painful, you know, because usually there's humility to say, man, I made bad decisions. I did things I didn't really want to do. And if I had to do it different, I got to own that I would do it different, you know? And I've done that. We've done that. We've all done that at some level, right? It's kind of, what level are we talking about? And we have to live with the ramifications of our decisions, but we don't have to live in guilt or shame. We don't have to despair because of what we've done, what we've created. And Jesus is always there to forgive. It's kind of the heart of the gospel. And we can start right back in. That's the beauty of it. Like, there's always second chances. Like, if I'm still drawing breath, then there's forgiveness to be had. And that is so important, right? And even if you're a follower of Jesus, you might think you're off the path, and you might just be walking. You're still there, right? Jesus has not left you, he hasn't abandoned you or forsaken you. You're just not moving much, right? And we've all had situations like that in our lives where we've slowed down quite a bit. And the beauty is you can just start back up. You know, it's like it's literally the choice to re-enter the race or just begin running again. You know, I love that.
I love, somebody once told me that every day you get out and you're moving and you're walking or you're jogging or you're running, you're lapping everybody on the couch.
That's great.
And I, because some people get really discouraged when they like go out the very first time to run again, and they're like, man, I can run a 15-minute mile. This is, they haven't done it in so long, you know? And I think that it can feel that way sometimes when you've gone down this pathway of bad decisions and you try to get back on the horse. It can initially seem so discouraging, but it's like, I like your one step back thing. It's like, yeah, but you're one step back closer to like an alignment and a connection to where God wanted you in the first place. And he's just always offering and beckoning back. And so every day that you decide to wake up and make the right decisions and allow God to redeem another facet of your life is another step closer to where he's at. You're lapping yourself on the couch, so to speak, and you're allowing yourself to get back on the race.
One of the things that's so encouraging, I love what you're saying, Joe, is as you were saying that, I thought, is I've met people that have accepted Christ or met Christ later in life and have made bad decisions, right, because they didn't make them with Jesus, right? Myself included. We all are going to say, I wish I would have found this sooner. I wish I would have found Jesus sooner. I wish I would have turned back and kind of jumped into the race sooner. Always. And what that does, that's encouraging because it reminds us that the race that's where it's at. That's the place to be. And at any time that's spent not in that race is going to have some regret to it, and Jesus paid for that, right, in full, and that's important for us to know.
And one of my favorite, one of my favorite verses of all time is still in Philippians 3 when Paul says, "One thing I do is I forget everything that lies behind me, and I look forward to the goal that's in Christ Jesus."
I love that.
And so we have to be willing to look behind us and say, yes, this is a past I can learn from, that I can maybe learn to avoid different mistakes in the future, but realizing that God is a God of redemption, and he's setting me forward on a new path. And if I focus my eyes on there, pretty soon you won't be asking this question anymore because you've been going down the path that we discussed tonight.
I love that.
Good. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. This series has been very helpful, just, exploring wisdom and what does that mean to follow God that way. And so I want to encourage everyone that's watching or listening, check those messages out if you haven't already. And we'll keep navigating this thing together. Every day is a new choice and asking God for new wisdom. Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, everybody. This is our Weekend Extra. We'll see you next time.